Hey, how's it going today? Today we're going to talk about free companies that I'm looking at, definitely on the watch list for April. And we're just going to get right into it. Number one is Adobe. What Adobe, and I don't know if you're familiar with Adobe, the company itself, but you're probably used to a lot of their, their applications and what they do. Number one probably being Photoshop. If you ever heard of Photoshop, hopefully. I think a lot of people have. Photoshop be one company, one application they do. They also do After Effects, which is like, and then they have an animation one to help them with animation in Premiere Pro. Basically, it helps with films and stuff like that. So it's an editing software that they use. A lot of people use it to edit their YouTube videos. A lot of people use it to edit actually their films. If you ever heard of Imagine Dragons, basically that's what they use for editing some of their music videos. I think Maroon 5, and that's used in Hollywood. I think some Hollywood directors use it. So as you can see, it's definitely especially Premiere and Photoshop is used heavily, and I don't see that's going anywhere soon. I think people always make videos and have to have some software to edit it. Photoshop has a lot of uses other than making stupid pictures that are funny. That's how a lot of people use it. But the other, a lot of things, let's say you have a business and you want to design a t-shirt and you want someone to make a logo for it. You can use Photoshop to help you design that logo. So, I mean, Adobe has a lot of uses for it. It's one of these companies that it's probably one of my regrets not buying it when it was a lot cheaper. So hopefully, that was years ago. I mean, this stock because it went up a lot. It's one of these companies that I passed up foolishly. It was a bad decision passing this company up because it hit all my criteria that I normally buy. I like because basically I think of Adobe, they probably have the best systems. Photoshop is probably the best application for doing what it does. Adobe Premiere is probably top of its line, and that's usually where I like to put my money. I like industry leaders. I normally pick industry leaders. I like the best in the business, and I think Adobe is definitely the best in the business. And a lot of these, all three of these companies are actually probably the best in the business of what they do. So that's why I like them. Adobe. And now the next company is Match Group. Match Group is a company that probably really don't know. It's actually like a parent company of the applications and basically what they do is if you ever use Tinder, it's a dating site or a dating app, or Match Group, or Match.com, or Match. I think they have an app for it. There's usually an app for everything anymore. And they also have Plenty of Fish, and a lot of them. You can just look them up. They have a lot of dating sites that I don't think they have eHarmony. I think eHarmony is its own thing. But as you can really, I mean, let's sit back and think. Everything's going online. So why not dating? So I think dating is definitely going to go online, and it already has. Everybody, I think people are not scared anymore. I mean, I remember a long time ago, everybody was like, don't meet people on internet, don't trust anybody. But now we think of Uber and stuff like that, and how we got strangers driving us around. You're getting in a stranger car and driving people and getting driven around. Think of that when the internet first came out. It'd be crazy. Really sitting back and thinking about it. But Match Group is obviously an industry leader in what they do. And that's one of these companies that I bought back. And I probably I like to normally add to my winners. I always like the old saying with Peter Lynch once said it in his book, One Up on Wall Street. He said, cut the weeds and water the flowers. Basically what he means by that is cut your losers, the stuff that you thought was good and was bad, and then add to your winners. And this is definitely one of the winners, and it's went up well, and I believe in the next coming years or so, it will continue to keep going up. And now the next one is Zandex or Zendex. But anyway, what the company does, it's a cloud computing company that helps with customer service online and all this. So essentially what it does is, let's say you're running a business and you have online or wherever you want customer service. I mean, that's not one thing going away. The old way to do it is pay a bunch of people to sit in a room and answer telephone calls, or whatever. They probably, a lot of them outsource it. That's why you get someone else that barely can understand, but with this company, what it does is actually a computer or an application answers it. Sometimes it's a person, but a lot of times, let's say it's a frequently asked question, you can set up to where, is this your problem? And you hit yes, and it will direct you to how to solve that problem. Or maybe already a link that they made or whatever the company wants to do. And that saves you, really, you just have to come up with the system. It doesn't solve all the problems, but a lot of the problems it does. And it makes it a lot more efficient, and you just have to pay this company to set it up for you, or you set it up. And I like to call this company, it's doing what, it's like a Netflix effect. And what I believe what Netflix is basically it took something it made something better and cheaper. And that's really what it did. I mean, you look at cable, is it better than cable? Yeah, in a lot of ways it is. No advertisement and everything like that, and it's a lot cheaper. I mean, it's almost, I think cable is hundreds of dollars almost if you get everything. And then Netflix is 10, 15, around that. I mean, it's ridiculous how cheap it is, and that's what Zandex does. It makes things, it's better because it's customized and everything like that, and it's cheaper. So essentially, anything that makes things better and cheaper, you're going to have a winning company. But anyway, that's the free stocks I'm watching for in April. I own Match Group and Zandex, and I'm hopefully, I think it's probably wishful thinking. Maybe I gotta add to Adobe, but it's definitely on the watch list. If it drops or anything like that, we have another market correction or whatever you want to call them, a downturn or whatever, I'm definitely probably going to pick up Adobe or something like that. And thank you for joining. I actually have a Facebook page you can join. I can leave it down in the descriptions. But yeah, that's basically that's it for my free stocks.